Welcome. You are now tuned in to IntellectualRadio.com. I'm your host, Tyrone Muhammad, and this is ExCons for Trump Live. That's the number 4. ExCons for number 4 Trump on IntellectualRadio.com and Tyrone Muhammad Facebook Live and Instagram and all other streaming networks. Listen, man, I got my man Crow from the Go sitting over here with me, and it's going to be a lively conversation. And really, I want your participation tonight, listening audience, because we're about to go in. That's 708-223-8953. Tune in, call in, 708-223-8953. We want to hear from you. This is ExCons for Trump. And I'm going to start it off like this here. $66 billion on immigrants across the country. Wow. $66 billion, Earl. I could be short a few numbers. $66 billion on immigrants, illegal aliens. Our elected officials, Democratic primarily, spent $66 trillion of your billion dollars of your money on illegal aliens. How many murders in Chicago? I think it was 40-some shootings and 8 murders, Earl. 40-some shootings and 8 murders in Chicago, I think last weekend. 40 shootings, 8 murders. $66 trillion of your tax dollars. I mean, billion. Let me get that T up out of there. Billion of your tax dollars. Graveyards and prisons seem to be the only lot for black men and boys in this country, all across the country. We got women, sisters being murdered and shot in their homes by the police. All type of issues and ills that's not really making national news. We talking about selecting and electing a president, and we spend more time worrying about a vice president. Look at all these issues that we're facing in our communities. How much did Kamala Harris raise? In 48 hours? While women and children are starving all across America. I think it's like 40-some million or something like that.
It was like
40-some million.
46 million in like 7 hours.
We can't raise 40 million to help the women of Chicago whose sons and daughters have been murdered, to give them some ease, to give them some comfort of the trauma and the stress that they've been going through. Man, the homelessness in Chicago is at an all-time high. 18,000 ex-felons are homeless in Chicago. You hear me, Earl? Over 18,000 ex-felons are homeless in Chicago. And we talking about public safety. Public safety. Right across the street from Intellectual Radio is Emmanuel Chris Welch, the Speaker of the House. Wow. From this radio station. It's Chris Welch. He is one of the ones who've been responsible as well, with a big voice like he has, and ask him how many times you see him walking through Inglewood, if it's not for a photo op, or for them trying to do some social light event, or them doing some type of fundraiser. I was hoping they picked J.B. Pritzker as the vice president. I swear, man, that racist, he won't talk about Trump. I was gonna be in every location, every space, even out of town. Somebody was I was gonna raise money to travel wherever he showed up, and I was gonna tell them white folks, y'all messing up to pick this man while black men and women and children are being murdered, and it's the terroristic effect of violence in Chicago. And this man, after he was elected, hasn't went through our communities once to the way he did when he was getting elected. He hasn't lost no weight on that issue. Going to the community, chasing down violence, looking to see the conditions of our community. You know why he don't do it? Because our black elected officials don't force him to. They are just as bad. and it's time for a change. I'm here. This is ExCons for Trump, the number 4, ExCon for Trump on Intellectual Radio, and I'm joined by my brother, Crow from the Grow. He gonna introduce himself to you all, and I just really want him to give an opportunity, man, a few minutes before we open up these phone lines to talk about, why he's for Trump, and he's a returning citizen as well. And I want him to have his analogy and his perspective on it. So Troy, let's do it, man. The people are listening and watching.
Hello, everyone. This is Crow from the Go, and the reason I'm an advocate supporter of Trump, probably one of the first advocate supporters of Trump since the last election, is because of the policies necessary that he set forth for individuals that was incarcerated with the First Step Act. There are continuously people returning to jail with recidivism.
Yep.
A high number of people returning to jail for recidivism. They have no chance to get ahead. And with the First Step Act, he released individuals that were there sentenced under Joe Biden's mass incarceration.
The Clinton crime bill.
Exactly. And with those individuals coming home, they have been a positive light for the community. They have been reaching back individuals such as Bible. He has a program. I mean, he's been out speaking, an advocate of letting the youth know throughout the country, not just in Chicago, but throughout the country. I've seen videos and I've shared videos of him talking. And there's several other individuals that have returned home and have been a positive light for the youth and for everybody else.
Yeah.
So that was a big reason that I supported Trump. It was good to see these fathers come home and reunite with their families and their children, because a father is needed. Disregard whatever he had done in the past, at least if it wasn't a crime against women or children, domestic violence or murder against a woman or a child. That means 9 times out of 10, he got caught up with something that was street affiliated, whether it was hustling or whatever. And, those means were set in place as an act of survival.
Right.
So, you can give a guy that sold narcotics natural life, but you'll give a pedophile 3 years and he's scarred somebody for life. So to see Trump release those guys that went to jail simply for probably just selling narcotics and got natural life for selling crack or whatever, to see them return home was a great step. And that was one of the first things that kind of woke me up to him, because that was a big, bold step. And the next thing was, like I say, I could always talk about tax breaks for corporate America. I have a small S corp myself that I started during the time that Trump was president and the Biden transition. I'm not saying I made $400,000 a year, but learning how to write off certain expenses from my business gave me the opportunity to train several other brothers about the logistics industry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So with that little extra money, I was also able to take care of my family, my kids, and to help these brothers, to pay these brothers a wage to train them. It wasn't a lot of money that I paid them, but it was enough to get them started.
Paid them, not the government.
Not the government.
ExCon creating jobs and opportunities for other ex-felons.
Yes. I mean, these guys weren't even, I'm going to be honest, they weren't even ex-felons. These were just some young brothers that were around, and they was like, hey, look, I need a job.
Well, you was preventing the next felon.
Exactly. I would help.
Because I ain't making we can wax over that like that ain't nothing. Black death, violence needs a job. So if we ain't giving it a job, then what?
Yeah, we let it run. Like they used to say always, idle mind is the devil workshop. So with that opportunity of having this extra funds, I was able to hire these young men and let them come in and train and learn logistics, things about warehousing and storage and delivery. So that was a big plus. And just to be able to help out somebody else was a big thing for me, to give back in that way. To see these two brothers, and honestly, the little brother just hit me up today, and he was like, "Man, let's link up Saturday," because he wants to start his own logistic transportation business. So with that type of energy, that didn't come from a political donation. That came because I had a little few extra dollars to pay him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So every little bit helps. You get people that say, well, you didn't make $400,000, you supporting Trump. He's giving it to every small step helps.
So who have we been supporting for 60 years?
Yeah. That, I mean.
See, that, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, even with supporting the Democratic Party. I'm not just gonna like. I hate to talk about specifically the parties because it's the individuals that I support, and I support the policies of Trump. So people always put the individual before the actual policy.
Absolutely.
They focus in on Trump. He may say some harsh things, and even in defense of Kamala Harris, they bring up her past about her sleeping with Willie Brown. But that's people. No person running in politics is a perfect individual. We all are individuals that have flaws to one extent or another. My thing that I focus on, and I try to get people to focus on, is to alleviate the emotion and look at the policies that these individuals are setting forth and play for our community. And not just for our community, but for our children. We are not our parents. I specifically say that all the time. I'm more into politics than my mother and father, because these are the things that cultivate our society, that cultivate our community. The individuals that we elect in the office and the policies that they push affect us. And it's time for us to really start to take a look at these individuals and look at these policies and be vigilant about it. Okay, he may say some things that are a little bit rough, abrasive, but if it's the truth, if it's the truth ain't always going to be easy to accept. Sometimes it may come a little rough. We just seen last week when he was at the NA
when they that hit show, that was a hit fest. That wasn't no journalism, because they ain't hear them ask one question that affects black people. How do you propose, Mr. President, to increase employment rate for black men who are the most unemployed? How do you propose to reverse the effect of mass incarceration, Mr. President? See, man, we let people play in our face, bro, every day, and we don't do nothing. Listen, we at war. We're at war in our communities, man. It is war in our communities. Black women are being terrorized in the community by their own nephew, cousins, and sons.
By the children.
They
and I'm not.
We can't play.
I'm not just blaming black women in this extent, because they suffer from trauma that may not necessarily be caused by us men. It could have been caused primarily by the father or the men that were there or weren't there to raise them.
Right, but we all subjected to white supremacy and slave mentality, black man and black woman.
Exactly. So with cultivating and raising these young men, they actually create the man that they hate. They say they don't want a man to sit around the house and play video games,
but they buy them the game.
But they buy the son the game. They don't want him to go outside. Oh no, it's dangerous outside. Well, you have to. You're not going to be able to shelter this young man. I have 3 sons and 1 daughter, and I try to tell the mothers of my children, like, you're not going to be able to shelter him forever. You're going to have to let him go out and get some scratches and scrapes on his knees so he can learn how to adjust, so he can know what he's facing. Because to try to save him in that manner, you're destroying the masculinity in him. You're destroying his process of logical analyzation.
That's the objective, to destroy the masculinity in him. This world is heterophobic, increasingly heterophobic. I hope they're going to start saying it. Ain't going to probably make a T-shirt out of it. And I should have did it already. They're heterophobic, and that's what it is, because black men need not apply, period, for contracts and opportunities. As returning citizens, if we don't create an opportunity for ourselves, we probably won't have one. They make us perpetual slaves. The Democratic Party, I'm going to say it openly. Crow ain't going to say it, I'm going to say it. It has created a bunch of slaves. How else do you explain voting for a party, hook, line, and sinker, over and over again when your neighborhoods look the way they look? Please explain to me. This is not a Republican state. This is not a Republican city. You can keep pointing at Trump and say it's not about Democrat or Republican. Yes, it is. Hey, this is a Democratic state. Like when I deal with my Republican brothers and sisters, I say them ex-felons that can't vote is in Republican states. Don't blame the Democrat. You are the reason that them brothers' voting rights haven't been restored once they return home from. See, I'm an equal opportunity ass kicker. You understand? It ain't got nothing to do. Earl, do I owe a dollar, Earl? I'm an equal opportunity, man, when it comes to the truth of this whole matter. we can't keep acting like it ain't the Democrats in Chicago that's messing our communities up. We can't act like it's not the Democrats who allow these doggone migrants to be bust here. And we can't act like it wasn't the Democrats who locked my black butt up because I protested against the school that we asked to use to do real behavior modification of at-risk youth. They gave it to the migrants, but wouldn't give it to us in Woodlawn and in South Shore. After the police was done with their training there, we was told that we would be training alongside the police to be able to help our children, and we never was allowed to even use the school for our babies. But we got prisons. We even got a governor talking about tearing prison down and rebuilding them. Hey man, this is a joke. This is really a joke for us. I'm telling you, they laughing in our face, they smacking us in our face, and we have no pushback. And I'm happy to have my brother here because it's good to have different perspectives and we work through it. But ultimately, you got to tell me what it is that you're gonna do for our community. I wouldn't care, and they often ask, Crow, why Trump? Trump is this, Trump is that. I wouldn't care, Crow, if it was Mickey Mouse running. If it was Tito Jackson running, I'm voting for him over this party because party politics has broken us. That's the only national election. It's not a local election. It's only two candidates. It's only two parties. It's not a Green Party that can win. There's no Libertarian Party that can win. It's no Independent Party that can win. Anytime you can raise that much money off of foolishness, and a person can run one day, declare they're gonna run, and they win, and then they lie to you talking about they up in the polls. That's a lie.
Well, see, this is the big difference that I feel is between Kamala and Donald Trump. Kamala, the Democratic Party, they have put it in our brain that we're a minority. So in order for their party to function, they have to constantly make black people feel inferior and like we're less than, so we won't gain the confidence and the self-esteem to move ahead. Now, this is the thing that we don't focus on. Of course, she will come out and openly say, no, I'm not going to specifically give nothing to black people, because once you enrich, especially the black man, whether he's been incarcerated, whether if you give him a little bit of opportunity by natural nature and by design of the Most High, they will build. We'll go back and protect our communities. We'll uplift our women. We'll take care of our children. We will build ourselves up. So of course you don't want to give us nothing.
Absolutely.
And they kill me when they always bring up this thing about the Constitution, and they say, well, you're 3/5 of a man. Okay, I can accept that. Yes, I'm 3/5 of a man, but they don't tell you about that 2/5 of God that we are. See, they don't tell you about that 2/5 of God that's in you, that the Most High Creator have embedded in all men, specifically black men. The melanated black man of America, the indigenous people, the original indigenous people of this planet. See, they don't tell you about that 2% God. They want to keep on bringing up you 3/5 of a man, but I'm 2/5 of God that dwells inside of me to build, to protect, to nurture, to love, to educate. So they constantly want to keep that over your head. Well, no, we can't give you anything specifically. Okay, they won't give us anything specifically.
But Kamala Harris said it.
Yeah,
I
she
can't
said,
specifically talk about what I'm gonna give to black people. Wait, and then we want to call her black. We just so that white supremacy, man. That we just anything that's color, even black is not black.
well, see,
It's not black. Skin is not just because your skin is brown, don't make you black. I'm talking about that somebody that doesn't make you somebody who's gonna stand for our interests. If that was the case, we would have better in Chicago with all these black elected officials we have.
well, the thing is this. A lot of our people are uneducated about black being a race or it's black a culture. See, black isn't a race. Melanated is our pigmentation of our skin. That is our ethnicity. That's our ethnicity. Black is a culture that was developed in America because they had no other way to define us. They can't say that, you were indigenous people to the earth. Okay, that's one portion of the black people. Then you talk about the Atlantic slave trade that
But
brought
the
over
same
other
with
black people.
white. But the same with white because they created race. They
As-
created race.
and you know why they created ways. But see, one thing we never focus in on as black people, and you're very educated, you know what I'm saying? You, my brother, you know, you had the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I also was a student of Crow, and I know the pecking order of the Caucasian that we don't discuss.
Yep.
See, we look at Caucasians and we immediately say the white man is racist. So to a uneducated black man, you see a white face, you automatically assume that they're racist when it's total opposite. Most Caucasians aren't racist. We have to understand that the WASP, the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant, that originated from England and Britain, those are the ones that created this colonization process from Europe. So when we go back and look at who of which group, just like right now in the UK, they're tearing it up. The UK over in England and Britain right now, they're having a civil war between the Muslims, the blacks, and the whites.
And they
over
should
there.
be having one here. I'm not, and it's coming. It's
Yeah.
coming. And little homies, stop killing each other. Stop killing each other. Save your bullets. Save your guns. Save your bullets. Save your guns. I'm gonna say it out loud for the FBI, CIA, and the government to hear. You put them guns in our community for us to kill each other. We don't produce no weapons. We don't produce no heroin, cocaine, or weed. We may grow a few buds. But we don't produce none of that mass anything that affects real systemic changes in our neighborhood. Stop killing each other, little homie. Save your bullets. Because I'm telling you, with the way this party is operating and they little bourgeoisie, divine nine, hyper-focused Negroes for a particular class and cast of people, and they pushing this agenda because everything is just like us sitting here talking. People want to say, why Trump? Man, what you mean, why Trump? Because I have the right to pick and choose who I want. You pick Democrat. You pick and choose, been picking and choosing the wrong party that's been messing our communities up since they've been founded. You want to tell the truth? Man, we got to stop allowing people to tell us who we could be, what we could be, or politically correct aspects of what it could be. That's why I know I'm one of the freest black men in America. I can say what I want to say and suffer the consequences of saying what I believe. And that's the problem with us right now. Everybody want to be political correct while we dying incorrectly. We dying incorrect because it's incorrect. It's wrong for young men to not make it past 18. It's wrong and incorrect for 18 to 24 to be over 60% unemployment rate in America. It's wrong for graveyards to tackle and catch us more than college. It's wrong. It's wrong for gas prices to be this doggone high. It's wrong for food to be this doggone high. Well, it's wrong for us to receive excessive tickets by private industries that our government have sold the rights to. It's wrong for all of these issues and ill to overly police us while you catch no person bringing in mass guns. You don't catch the man bringing in the cocaine and the heroin, but you plucking little babies off the street, little bros off the street, the little fruit off the street. I'm going to say this. Call in. We want to hear from you. That's 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Call in. We want to hear from you. ExCons for Trump. That's the number 4. ExCon for Trump. Call in.
And it's funny you bring up the Divine Nine. And when we talk about the
what's divine about them?
Well,
I'm asking that real question.
Well, I'm finna
because they got the power to change our communities.
I'm finna explain something that's uniquely about the Divine Nine. If you go and look up, because Kamala Harris is an AK, and I went and looked it up. If you go and look them up, and I want to be exact, we think that they are black fraternities. No, they aren't. They have the majority of members are black, but actually, if you go and look up on their page, they're non-discriminate to sex, race, religion, and everything. So they're telling you, even though the majority of the members are black, that they don't just allow black people in them. So a lot of people get that misconstrued. Like Mark Carter used to always attack and be like, they not black, they not this, they not that. But he never broke down that they're open to other races, nationalities, and
I
people.
wouldn't care.
Howard University is a black, a historically black college, but they just don't allow only black people to attend there. So when we define black, like I said earlier,
First of all,
it's a
anybody that
culture.
call themselves a Greek and they're African is disillusioned. They call themselves educated. If I'm Greek and an African, please explain to me how both exist in the same space. Greek not before Africa. Greece learned Aristotle, Plato, Socrates, and the antiquities learned from our ancestors. Why they don't have African letters? Why they got to call themselves Greek letters?
Well,
Can you explain that one? Don't try it. If you don't
I'm
even
gonna
try
say
it.
this. I can't explain why they took up Greek letters. I mean, at that I can only make an assumption that at that particular point in time when they were looking for an identity to separate them from the masses of other people, to separate them from the masses of, let's just say, other melanated Black Americans at that time that were less uneducated. Well, I mean, they were less educated. They had, probably like they were cool with being the sharecroppers. So you had the elite, the elitists that were a little bit more cultured, articulate, intelligent, and they wanted to separate that from that. But like I say, we are like the only race of people that do that. If you go and look at anybody else, any other ethnic group or race of people, the ones that sit up top help the ones at the bottom,
Absolutely.
and they do it openly.
Absolutely.
They don't do it like.
Absolutely.
I've been to Little Village and seen block club parties in Little Village. You know what I'm saying? Because I got some homies, some people over there. They invited me over. I was like maybe 2 black people on the whole block. But on the block that I was on, I'm not gonna say, but the block that I was on, you seen the alderman, you seen the business owners in the community, you seen the women taking care of the children, cooking everybody food, you seen the men talking, whether it was the community guys. I don't like to say street niggas because we're evolving past that. We're community men. We're men of the community. You seen the men of the community, you seen the business owner, you seen the alderman, you seen all them talking about what was going to go on. And if you remember back during the George Floyd riots, when it was said that the rioters was gonna go to Little Village and tear it up, them brothers on the roof with machine guns and everything, like y'all not coming over here. It ain't no burning nothing over here on 26th Street up, because we gonna kill you. And that was an open front. You seen Raymond Lopez even come on there and be like, hey, look, y'all can't do that, and kind of shadily defended them, like, hey, look, they're gonna protect that, but if it was us, we have a problem doing that.
Of course. You're not gonna have a problem doing that. You got your own the people defending the talking about you on the roof with some gun. You're gonna have your own people condemning you for protecting your community and your people.
Well,
but I mean that it is what it is. They should protect their community. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely.
But my biggest issue is with over 80 million returning citizens or just as involved individuals, as they say, in America. America is the most incarceral country in the world. I'm going to say this again. With all the so-called democracy, with all her so-called wealth, with all her so-called divine nine, intelligent Moors, Masons, Eastern Stars, I don't care what you call them. All the 50,000 churches in Chicago or more, all of this here so-called knowledge. We are the most incarceral nation in the world. What does that speak to? It has to speak to policymakers. It has to speak to capitalism. It has to speak to the police state. When I hear white folks ask for more policing, Earl, I don't see them asking for more policing to lock their children up. They're not asking for more policing to lock their children up. They're asking for more police to lock your Negro child up. That's what they're saying. They're not saying we want to prevent them from going to prison by putting more resources into the programs and the training that's necessary to teach a man how to fish. They ain't even saying that. They actually ain't closing programs and they closing institutions and giving them away freely to make another people better.
Well, I mean, from a man's point of view, and I'm speaking from being a melanated Black American male, it's time for us to do what we got to do then to protect our
As
babies.
comes with Trump.
You know, it's time for us to. It don't.
And then it's gonna be ExCons against Welch. Then it's gonna be ExCons against the city, the mayor. And then it's gonna be ExCons for Trump right now because that's the current election.
well,
I'm gonna drive this foot up y'all backside throughout this whole country. The good thing about I just got off a call the other day with brothers from all over the country. We gone. I'll be in New Jersey next week. Then I'm going to Mississippi. I'm not standing around waiting on Negroes to wake up in Chicago. They dead. It's over with for y'all. Y'all can forget it. Sisters, y'all gonna keep getting murdered in the communities. I'm gonna tell you right now. Your police chief don't have an answer because the mayor holding his hand. They ain't got an answer for you. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Everybody else gonna play with y'all. I'm gonna tell you the truth. Jersey, what's up, Muta El Amin, watching from New Jersey. Salam is mail calling in. They trying to call in. That's the number is 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. I think is available for call, right, Earl? All right, we go. Oh, first caller, welcome. Is available for call.
Peace.
All right, we go. Go ahead, my brother. First caller, welcome. Take your mic, the volume down. Hello?
Got you. Peace and blessings. What's good with you, Tyrone? It's Muta.
Man, I'm in Jersey, man. You ready to turn this country upside down?
Listen. We gonna have to shake him up some type of way. They playing games.
Man, I think I'm gonna move to Jersey, bro. I think I need to leave Chicago. I'm a freedom fighter, man. It's too weak in this city.
Man, listen. I'm gonna explain something to you. The same thing going on in Chicago going on in here. It's just that you bump into a few people, but the people in power is still the same motherfuckers.
There you go.
So you was in the room. Before a couple years ago with the supposed to be movers or whatever. Know what I mean?
Yep, I remember.
But a guy like me, who really make impact in the community, they play keep away from a guy like me. So they don't put no resources in my hand. What they do is they play keep away. They send other people to my area who don't have no community ties, can't make no impact. Mm-hmm. Soon as the funding run out, they programming run out, and it's like, why would you do this?
Because they don't want black men. They don't want black men to control their neighborhoods and communities. Strong black men get murdered. Strong black men get murdered. Strong black men go to prison. Every day of this country's life, awakening life. Well, grown black men, that's what happened. That's why you got to link with strong black men, because we got to make it so tough for them that if you murdered him, you can't murder all of them. And we got to feel that bond. I don't care if it's across state, man, because we ain't gonna get it in. Like, you're not gonna get it only in your community, in your state, but we can get it as a whole.
Absolutely.
So, bro, man, thanks for calling in, man. I love you. Who you got this for this election, man?
Listen, man, we looking like ExCons for Trump. I done did 7 joints. It was behind the prosecutor state that we got. We understand what's going on. We understand what these police is meant to do. These police is meant to jam us up and trap us up. So it ain't really about Trump being the best person, but I don't want to be incarcerated.
Right. Yeah.
I want somebody who at least has a plan for us. Yes. Like, I don't want nobody who just gonna say, I'm not gonna do anything because I look like you.
Yes.
I'm not. That's not really that. that speaks to what your actions is going to do.
Well, man, you got it. You gonna run with it. We're gonna line it up all over the country, especially in the swing states. ExCons for Trump, man. You make those hats and the t-shirts. I give you permission, bro, to make them. I give you the patterns. I give you everything you need, bro, for you could get them brothers acclimated there, and you do your thing, man. I don't want to own nothing. I want us to win together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Newark, New Jersey, stand up. ExCons for Trump. Tyrone, I appreciate you. I love you, brothers, on the talk show. Listen, I appreciate you. I love y'all. We got to keep this discussion going on, keep people informed.
Love, peace. Bro. Peace and blessing. All right. We ready to go. Hotline. Come on, you on ExCons for Trump. On Intellectual Radio. Hello? Caller? Try it again. Hello, caller? That should be it. Hello, you on ExCon for Trump. Caller, speak.
Peace, brother.
Peace.
This is Brother Salam Ismail.
What's up, great king, great ruler? Islam. Assalamu alaikum, soldier. How you doing?
Everything's good, brother. Everything's good.
Go ahead, give us some wisdom, brother.
Well, where should we start? First, let's be mindful of none of the parties.
That's right.
Never have, never will be for us. We're always going to be a youth element for the economic promise of America. We were that since the slave trade, right? And we continue to be that. And to address a point of the Democratic Party, and I think even Trump said it, I'm not a fan of none of the above, but Trump said something very important. If you look at every city, all the major cities, Chicago, Newark, Detroit, all those cities, is a mess, a disaster, either rape, ravaged with drugs, gun violence, poverty, and such. And even Chicago, like in Wisconsin, majority of the African Americans live in Chicago. You got I think it's 1 point something million, something like that, and the rest of the state is predominantly white. But all the problem is centered in Black communities. In Wisconsin, majority, 64% of the African American population in Wisconsin is in Milwaukee. Where the problem at? In Black neighborhoods. And they rule by the Democrats.
Yes,
Why
sir.
is that so?
Yes.
In Maryland, I got dual resident in Maryland and in New Jersey. In Baltimore County, where I stay at, I'm 25 minutes outside Baltimore City. Now, Maryland is one of the richest states in the nation. But yet Baltimore City is ravaged with drugs, fentanyl, you name it, under Democratic rule. Why is that so? Now, we had almost 12 years of Democratic Party in the last, 16 years or so. Obama had 2 years to fix anything that could be fixed that could impact our community before the Republicans had a majority. And the same with Biden. I think Biden had a year or two. Same thing. But they've done nothing. We still got the George Floyd bill, which I think is weak, but it's a bill.
They passed the Asian hate bills. They passed the transgender hate bills. They passed everything. But Black men still get murdered by police. Hook, line, and
Come on now. The fastest civil rights bill that they had just put up was the Asian bill. That came up, they've done that bill in like a month.
Wow.
So what we need to be conscious of as a community is to come to a realization of one thing, that we have no more friends.
Yep.
We have no friends.
We have no friends.
We're in this alone. Yep. You know, the 4 classes, and I'm going to let you go on this, 4 classes of people, as Dr. Claude Anderson said, now there's LGBTQ, you got the immigrants, that's a whole, and you have the Latino, and then there's us. They don't need us no more.
Let me say this.
They can piss all over us all they want.
Let me say this, Brother Salam, and with your help, and you helping me flesh this out across the country. And see, that's what they messing up at. They don't understand. We linking all over the country. They don't get it. But what I want you to help me flesh out there's another class, a perpetual underclass that Michelle Alexander talks about. You think that everybody that go to prison, Earl, they say over 70% of us return back to the communities. So you got a perpetual underclass that actually is the biggest population in the country. And I say that like this, and you could correct me. Every ex-felon brings with him 5 to 10 people or 20 that's gonna vote their interest. See, we got our problem ain't that we don't have the numbers. Our problem is we not organized. And now we have started to organize. See, and I love it. I need Chicago to see we tapped in all over the country. While we sitting there, they sleep here, bro, with all the migrant stuff. Chicago should have burnt up. They should have burned Chicago up to allow our government to spend that type of money, brother, to spend that type of money in our face. And LA should have burnt up. New York should have burnt up. To let that type of money be spent on them and not us, why black women and children are being murdered every day in America's cities, man, we some hypocrites and we some cowards.
Let me say this to you. It was 1 in 4 in the petit penal system, and I mean in prison or probation or parole. Now it's 1 in 3. The ExCon, that movement that you do, ExCon. I mean, I totally agree. The ExCon for Trump, but that's why if that works, that's fine. But if the ExCon, like you said, is what? How many millions?
Man, over 80 of ExCon, 80 million in America.
Okay. If the black men, Malcolm came out of prison, Elijah Muhammad came out of prison, Dr. King went to prison, came out a new man. So what I'm telling you right now, if the brothers that impact on the prison system in New Jersey, where I'm from, 61% of the population of the jail population, African American, the highest in the nation. You can look it up as a fact. And we still, in all our major black cities, we're in destitute situation.
So you said New Jersey is the highest population of number 1 in
the highest percentage by percentage. You look up a sentencing project, it'll come up. You Google that.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you, and New Jersey is the last actual free state. You know what I'm saying? We didn't actually get freed in Jersey to 1866.
Ridiculous.
So what I'm trying to tell you, you black men, we have the power. We can shut our women down. Our women going all berserk over this. You see that. They say Biden in the primary made
kick them out the house then. They gone crazy. They went crazy, bro.
But see, that's our fault, though.
That's our fault.
We haven't stood up as men. Those are the women in our household. We can tell them, sit down, look, thank you very much, sis. We'll take over from here. And that's what we have to do across this country. And I'm hoping your listeners, black men, if you're going to stand up, get connected with brothers like Tyrone, you don't have to agree with everything. But you have to agree with one thing, that we are one unit. And we're powerful as a one unit. So, keep doing what you're doing. God bless you all.
I'll give you a call tomorrow, man. We're going to get on here and get that thing popping, man. I see y'all in New Jersey soon as well.
That's right. Peace up.
Hey, we rocking.
Hey, and it was important. And I always want to say this about Chicago. Chicago is the epicenter of
all the power, man.
Of all the power of street. Like I hate to use the word street niggas because we've evolved.
Yeah,
we need to start to look at it as a community base. The words we use have power. Like the younger brothers say, we from the trenches. You don't live in the trenches. Trenches is a whole dig is war term. And when you look at
from bombs and bullets.
Exactly. So that means you automatically put the word trench in your mind and you're thinking about your brother is your enemy.
Yeah.
The person that live across in another neighborhood a few blocks away from you is your enemy. We don't live in trenches. We live in a community. And it's time for the men in that community to stand up. And it's not necessarily built on that you have to love me. We have to learn how to respect each other first.
That's what stops us from killing each other.
Respect each other's difference.
You know, it was
Men
crazy.
recognize men.
It's
Men acknowledge
crazy,
men.
bro. You right. No, you're not lying about it. It's crazy. I remember it was a while back, and we were warring with the GDs and BDs, right? And it's like certain ones you got respect for. Like I grew up with Lonzo Leteri, all of them people, Chongo and them. We was oppositions. And I grew up eating out the refrigerator, us laying in each other's houses, going to the same schools. And then all of a sudden we become opposition. But out of that whole crew, I'm the only one became GD. But I'm only saying to you that it's like the respect factor. I didn't get shot by them because that was a respect factor. When they saw me, it was like, I ain't gonna not him but that's respect. Even though you're warring with somebody, you get a pass behind enemy line because you establish a level of respect.
It's that old
right?
It's that old cliche that I know everybody that's ever been affiliated or associated with any type of street element. And it was this cliche that I always said, I'm a man before I'm anything.
Yeah.
That's gonna stand out. My masculinity and being a man, my intelligence is gonna stand out before you notice anything else about me. And when a person respects your intelligence, they respect you for standing on your business as a man and standing. The rest of it go out the window. And that's what we need to push. We need to learn how to respect each other and respect the differences.
And you got to respect our women and children in these
Absolutely.
communities, bro. It is unacceptable for our women and children to be murdered in Chicago. It is unacceptable for Chicago police, our government, the elected officials to sit back and watch 40 murders, 40 shootings, 8 murders in a weekend. And don't nobody saying you talking about some Democratic National Convention. Man, that whole thing's supposed to go up in smoke. It don't even supposed to even exist. It's supposed to be so many people from Chicago crashing that party that you will have to call the National Guard because it's unethical to host or have anything in this city with this much murder. Listen, bro, with this much murder and this much disinvestment, they should have never allowed that convention to be in this city. It's hypocritical. It's the most disinvested big city in the country. And I'm going to say this thing right here. Chicago, 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. I don't need to be hearing from outside our city and state. They can't let the brothers and sisters from outside call in and y'all sitting back and don't got nothing to say. Y'all got to call in. 708-223-8953. Who got something intelligent to say? Who got something to add to the movement and contribute to what it is that we're talking about? In Chicago, big holy Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, we dying here. This is serious. I'm not doing this for my health. I don't need it. I'm a freedom fighter, and I'm going to keep fighting for our community no matter what. ExCons for Trump is going to turn into ExCons for aldermen, and we're going to flip these wards. I got about 5 of them, Tro, that I know they got to go. At least 5. All these state reps. Bro, we passed. I was a part of it, man. The House bill, it was 2060 something. That was to give ex-felons their IDs before they came home.
That was Willie Preston.
Willie Preston.
Shout
I
out
wanted
to
the man, Willie Preston.
Shout out
and
to
Willie Preston wasn't there. I'm there. Willie Preston called me. I got up in the morning. We've been pushing this forever. He called me. I got out of my bed, came to Springfield, spoke, and got up on it. And we passed that with Surreal Nichols, who Democratic Party removed as well. See, they cold-blooded, man. They put who they want in office when they want to do it, even though you voted a person in office. That's the crazy part, even about Kamala Harris. 200, 300 million. You know how many million it was? It was 400 million, 300 million black people or people. People voted for Trump. Biden, and 50 or so delegate remove them. That ain't democracy, man. And then put up who they want to put up. So, man, listen, man. I'm telling y'all about to wake up. We dying out here, and we gonna get busy living, or we gonna keep dying.
And I'm happy you brought that up, because people have a tendency to not reflect on it. Like I said before, I'm not a party person. I'm a policy individual. And Willie Preston has helped to fight to pass some great legislation. That brother over in the 16th district, he's a close, he's like a brother to me.
Yep.
And he is one Democrat.
Senator, well, thank you, Willie Preston, for that. He ain't lying. He a fighter, but he ain't getting no support from us or them.
And that's what I'm saying. We need to galvanize around Willie Preston in the 16th district, all over through this state, because this brother is actually a Democrat that's really fighting for the community.
Sandra said, "Son, Trump is gonna put me back. Trump is gonna put me back in bars." You crazy, Sandra? Hey, ain't no bars for Tyrone Muhammad. It's graveyard.
It's and see, that's the thing.
They scare tactics. How do you think you going to some back behind bars?
Well, you gotta
our sisters and brothers, man.
Because for so long the Democratic Party has instilled fear. Yep. They always keep that level of black people are inferior. That's why you have to pay attention to what Kamala Harris said. She said, "I'm not giving you nothing specific."
Yeah,
they give you something specifically.
Yeah.
A little bit.
It may change the tide.
It's gonna change, and that's why it's so important that the men, we have to get back to using our hands. Men are acknowledged by the work of their hands and the sweat on their brow. So we have to take the little resources that we get. People always talk about Donald Trump not giving us enough. Start your own corporations, your LLCs. Learn how to write off different expenses. Teach these young men and young women the trades that you know. I know a lot of brothers.
I think it's deeper than that, though, brother. It's deeper than trades, and it is a soul depletion that has happened to us, man.
Well, we got to take every step.
You can keep on voting a certain way all the time, hook, line, and sinker. I need them to be clear. I don't give a damn about Donald Trump. I don't give a damn about Kamala Harris. None of them have served my constituency base in the way that I would like to see it served. I don't care about that. What we're doing is saying to the Democratic Party and all those that's in authority, if Trump was in authority and we had to go against him because we wasn't getting none, this is going to be ExCons for Kamala. It wouldn't even, I don't care about her in that way. What we saying is we have a free thinking brain. I have my own thoughts. A person like that would say Trump will put me back in the prison bars. But she can decide what she want to be and who she want to vote for. And I ain't saying nothing about her negative. A person could decide that they want to cut their penis off and call themselves a woman, and we okay with that? We okay with that? That is cool. We don't want to argue about what they did or nothing, but the moment we say we gonna vote our choice, which is a democratic process and a right as an American, the freedom to do so, I have the freedom to jump off the Sears Tower if I want to. I'm going to die as a result of the consequences, but that's still your freedom to do. It's amazing to me that when we vote Democrat, nobody mad at us. All of my Democratic brothers that I done voted and ran and helped get in office, nobody said, why we doing it, man?
Because, like I said before, it's because it's set up of us not really fully understanding. Like the big thing is with the abortion. I want to bring this up.
Lord, have mercy.
They're so caught up and they banned abortion.
What?
They didn't. But see, this is the thing where you say so what. But we
so
have to
what?
Educate the people.
I'm not caught up in that emotional stuff. What God say?
Well, God give everybody.
What
life.
Thus said God say? Thus said the Lord.
God
so
give everybody life.
So we got 61 birth control, bro. Over there, I think they said 61 forms.
That's a lot.
That means you got a way to protect yourself from being pregnant. I ain't talking about rape and incest. Stop saying that. They need to stop that.
Yeah, that
become when I rape and incest. Duh. Come on, man. No, stop it.
And it's funny you bring up that because the brother shout out Kevin Black. He was like, man, it's been 64 rape and incest since they did that. And I was like, bro, them are people going in there saying they was raped to get an abortion because in the state they won't allow it unless you've been raped and incest.
Yep.
Because if you had 64,000 rapes in any state,
come on, man,
like actual rapes, where are these arrests at?
Exactly. That not now. I want to know.
Because if I'm a police officer and the girl come in and say she was raped to an abortion clinic, but didn't go to get a rape kit and then call the police first,
I'm questioning.
I have to question that.
I'm questioning. Where your rape kit?
You've been raped, but you don't know who raped you. So it's just a mass group of people running around raping all the women. No, I mean, you got to understand they saying they've been raped so they can get the abortion. And the thing
right,
about
and
it
that's
is,
wrong because it makes it unhealthy for our women.
Well,
but that's wrong. I'm saying I got it, but don't use they gonna stop abortion as a right to rationalize. But then look, turn around and pass the Clinton 94 crime bill that sent black men to death in prison. They ain't saying nothing about that. And I'm talking about black women.
And to be truthfully honest, just you bringing that up, it's at least 10 guys that I know that was in college with us. Yeah, call it college, that have been exonerated for being innocent. Mm-hmm. That crime bill did a lot of damage because it's still C numbers. Yep. Let me be honest, it's still C numbers that are incarcerated, and them C number brothers need to be home. They've been locked up since the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. A lot of these brothers need to be released because a lot of them are actually innocent. They just don't have the courts are moving slow to get them free.
And we got about like 5 or 6 minutes. I think sister asked me to explain online. Sister Lorraine, she asked me to explain online, like, how did the Republican National Convention treat me when I was there? Oh man, like I was a part of the family. I had no issue. I have no issues. I even took pictures with what's his name? Fox News. Hannity. I've been in Hannity. I was in several parties. I was hanging out with them, told them about themselves and how they have affected ex-felons in these states where Republican parties are, that I'm coming to those states and I'm going to kick them in their ass about how they treat black men as returning citizens. I told them that. But I'm not, it's going to be ex-cons against Republican states that incarcerate. See, I ain't in this to make nobody happy. I'm in here to cause some trauma and some consciousness to the people who put policy forth that make our life miserable, without ever asking us and bringing us to the table and say, what is it that we need? Man, the truest and fairest thing in the world, Crow, is to be able to take care of your family, to protect your wife, your women, your children, and to be a staple of your community, man, without being emasculated, man.
Well, the men gotta
you hear me what I'm saying?
They gotta step up.
Ain't no question. It's very few men. So we got to become men so that we can teach and train on how to be a man. But man, first of all, the empowerment of our community is real. We have to get resources. Well, we have to get wealth. And we got to arm ourselves. Second Amendment right is real. It's not used to be killed. We should be killing ourselves, each other, with these guns. It's to protect ourselves from impending dangers that could actually happen, because they're coming. Man, you play games if you want to with Trump. Hey, play games if you want to with that convicted felon. Play games if y'all want to this time. You're gonna see what I'm talking about, man. Because you think that other thing was something. After you switched in the middle of the race, when he had his opponent, that's like me and you in the ring. We boxing. I done already did my weight training. I done cut up for the fight. I done did everything I was supposed to do for the fight. And then you go put Mike Tyson in there. This man, that is unethical. That is not democratic. That process is illegal. I don't care what they stealing now. So if it's a steal, Trump cannot say, you know what? Y'all give them all the reason in the world to say y'all not playing fair.
Well, see, but this is the thing that people got to really take a look at. And I'm not being racist, but I'm just being factual. The Caucasian man, they have an ability to be masculine, and they will die for what they believe in. And in the process of them being able to die, they will kill for what they believe in. And this is the process in the Civil War that will go on in America. No matter who wins. If Kamala wins, it's going to be a problem. If Trump wins, it's going to be a problem. This is not a race or ethnicity civil war that's going to go on. This is a political civil war that's going to go on. Ideologies and beliefs. And to be truthfully honest, a lot of melanated Black Americans, it's not really our fight, to be truthfully honest, in a sense. It's not our fight because at birth, we came out of our mother's womb, and the thing they identified us by first was either our sex, our genitalia, and also the fact of the color of our skin. All these other things came about later on. The homosexuality, or whether you were heterosexual or homosexual, or any other thing came on after that. If you were a feminist, if you wanted to do whatever. At birth, we were considered Black, male, or female, or melanated, or whatever. And this thing is going to be deep. Because you got Black people, and you have melanated Black Americans, and you have Caucasians. Some of them are Republicans, and they get along. And some of them are on the Democratic side of the table.
So listen.
So how do you tell your people from your people?
We got a few minutes, 1 minute or 2 minutes to close. You can tell the people where they can find you at, man, and you know, just anything else you real quick you want to say to the community.
I this is my first time coming up here with the good brother Tyrone Muhammad. I'm happy and excited he invited me up here. I look forward to coming back. Like every day that he's up here and I could get up here, I look forward to coming back every week when he's up here. Just
so we here Tuesday and Thursday, every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 o'clock.
Every
this whole
Tuesday
3 months, and then after that platform, we're flipping it again to the local elections.
Well, like I say, man, you know, you can find me on social media from Crow from the Go, Facebook, Snapchat. It's the same thing no matter where you go. Crow from the Go, man. And I love my people. I love my community, and it's time for the men of the community to stand up. And we need to create a man of the community movement. And it doesn't matter what gang affiliation. It doesn't matter where you come from. It's all about where we're going. And it's time for the men to actually become men and stand up and protect our women, protect our children, protect our community. Because this election in the next couple of months, 90 days away,
something like that,
it's going to be very intense time. It's going to be a very, very intense time, no matter who wins. It's going to be an upheaval. I don't think no transition is going to be peaceful, because these people have it in their mind that Trump is going to take something away from them.
And Trump people have it in their mind that they're going to take
they're
something
going to lose
from
something.
them. So we got to be about the business of protecting ourselves. Y'all are tuned in to IntellectualRadio.com. And this is ExCons for Trump. I'm Tyrone Muhammad. You can follow me on Facebook, of course, TyroneMuhammad.com. Man, listen, it's time. To ExCons for Trump. We about to hit all these swing states. We're going to make them know we've been here. See you on Thursday, 9 o'clock, same time.
Shoulders, we're not getting no more, we're older. We look around the corners, we tell most of the time. So don't cut my order, look at this. Tonight I wanna live, yeah, I got a lot of love, yeah, but no more to give, look at this. What's the point of being rich if you came up from the bottom? You deserve to talk your own. Yeah, look at this, yeah, look at this, yeah, look at this, yeah, look at this.